Today we are talking to a development professional, organizational development coach, and expert in federal grants management with a strong passion for grassroots development programs. Over the last 5 years, he has established a locally led development program in Malawi, impacting over 300,000 lives. A son, a father, a friend, a brother, a mentor. We're talking to Mr. Frank Kasonga, Country Director for Modi Connect, formerly known as World Connect in Malawi. Welcome to our chat today.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
We're glad to be here. So we want to take it from the beginning. Your early life, where were you born?
That's a good one. I was born 47 years old ago in the northern region in a village called Katsonga. So my name is taken from that village. Actually, we are chiefs back home.
Great.
To a family of Mr. and Mrs. Charles and Tryphon Kasonga. It was a very poor background, if I must say. We are 6 in our family. I'm the firstborn.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was the time when we really at the peak of poverty. In the whole village of about 2,000 people, there was no one who has gone to secondary school at that particular time. So we had no role models. All we could do is go farm and go to take care of the cattle and the goats and all that. That was life. It was very challenging because I lived in an environment where we could spend a week without having proper food. We could spend days and months going to farm in other people's farms so that we can get in turn our own food to eat in there. And I remember, I think, in 1 year where we really had completely nothing. And even the housing itself was pathetic because no blankets, no proper clothes. Zijazongokhala muntu basi ungote uyu ndi moto bora tili moyo, and we had no hope at that particular time. And I remember one popular thing which my mom keeps up to now is the type of blanket they had. She used to cut the trousers of my father here and then combine all these sleeves into a cloth that I used to put up as a blanket. It was that terrible. And when it was raining, it could be raining inside the house. So mvula jakutenga mphasa kumazivindikira as part of the shield towards the rain. It was that pathetic. So being a family of 6 entailed that we had a lot of demand in terms of the parents to meet for our needs, which we couldn't. And then as a firstborn, one thing that I made it right was that I would try and break this cycle of poverty in my family. As how I'm going to do it, I was not aware at that particular time, but I wanted to try. So we started really going to school, and I had a friend, he's known as now is Dr. Phineas Mfuni. He works with Mzu Central Hospital. We were the 2 people that said, probably let's try. He was coming from another village, I was coming from another village. So we said, let's try to do different things. So at standard 8, and not as things positive to others. Remember kuna operation Bwezani at that particular time when can I remember very well? I think it was around 1990, 1991.
Yes.
They are about. So where all the teachers from the northern region were sent to go work in the northern region from the south and the central. And that was an advantage for us because we had only 1 teacher at our school, but all of a sudden we had 8 more teachers coming in. So we took advantage of that and really studied hard. But in the first year of my standard 8, I failed. I just got a general pass. I couldn't go to secondary school.
No selection.
No selection. I couldn't go to secondary school. I said, let me try again in the second year. Now that try again for the second year was a spinning point for me. Because that time we were paying school fees 3 kwacha at that particular time. And my dad said I have no fees for it to pay for you. So I had to go to an estate, a tobacco growing estate, to go and do a piece job. So I was given 10 meters of land and 5 meters here to uproot all the trees at that particular time a day. So I did it first day, and all my arms were broken. My bruises everywhere. And when I went home, I asked myself, is this the life I'm going to live for the whole of my life? And the question was completely no. I must do something.
Yeah.
So that was the time I started picking up and started reading vigorously to write again in standard 8. And then the second day of that good, I failed to do it. And then the captain of that farm said, do you know how to write? I said, yes. So he picked me and I started now labeling the bells, tobacco bells. So I was writing very nicely. And that was the job that I was given for the rest of the month on the holiday. And I found it to be quite easy. Other than uprooting the trees. Yeah. I said, maybe I can do much better in this field when I do better in school. And that was the transformation of my mind. And I went home and I told my dad, I think one point at the time, poverty will reverse. And he was like, you think I did not try?
So he's telling you, I've tried before and this is where I am.
I tried before and this is where I am. I said, well, I would give it a second try. So when my parents were going to go other females to farm, I decided not to. I said, while we are going there, I'm going to farm in our own farm, so that every year we should not be doing the same. And when my sisters and siblings, two of them, Milka and Isaac, also started growing up, we teamed up and we were growing in our own farm.
Well, your parents went to other farms
to look for food. So at the end of the day, when I think I was hitting completion of that standard 8, we started gradually removing the food insecurity in the home because we were farming in our own farm. And then the second year of my standard 8, again, I don't know what happened to that particular time. Nobody was selected in that particular school. So the two of us said, we should go and move a step further. And we decided to go to Amari College of Distance Education at that particular time, NCDE.
Yeah, you can't just wait for the secondary school selection.
So I went to Mzalangwe CDSS at that particular time, MCD, and then my friend went to Eutini. That's where we started. And again, when things follow you, sometimes it's a challenge. Because I had no fees, I had to go to the farm first. So I started school in November. That time we were starting, I think, in October. So I started in November. And first year, first year, I got position 39 out of 40.
Second to the last.
It was so frustrating. And the tease there was too much. And I was very small and very young. And people were like, why a child coming here? So that made me frustrated. But I told myself, it is me. It's not nobody else. It is me. I think one thing that really led me to move steps was that belief in myself. So I can do it. And then in the second semester, I was position 1.
Wow.
From 39 to position 1. And then all those that were piling inserts of me started changing and saying, coming closer to me. And one thing, I went to that school without a shoe.
So you're going to secondary school technically without
a shoe, with flip-flops. So it was so hard until one person whose dad was in South Africa and he was so poor in maths, he started to come closer to me. So he started borrowing me his shoes. And I was doing that all in, and then I was teaching him math, all those things. That was the end of life. And remind you, I was not living in boarding. It was a self-boarding. So during a weekend, we would go to the...
Just a moment. So you had left home?
Yes.
And found a place for yourself to stay?
Yes. 40 kilometers away from home.
Let me take you back. What did that mean for the household? Because you were saying you were farming for the household together with your brother and sister. And first time how lima. It's October to November when it's the rainy season.
It was chaos. And it is these two sisters, sister and my brother now, which I said, guys, you can't stop. You have to continue. When I come back, I'm going to continue. But remember now, with our farming, the hunger problem started to reduce a little bit. So the frequency at which our parents were going to other farms also reduced. Starting from October, they were now starting from about January, thereabout. So at least that was reduced a little bit. But then they had to still, in January, February, March, to look for food for me to eat at school. And then that I could complement by also doing piecework from the teachers at the school. It was not easy at that particular time. And it is the time when boarding fees was 200 kwacha, but we couldn't manage at all. But still the vision that I had was at one point or the other, I should break the chain of poverty in my family. So went to the CDSS, and I did very well. At the end of it, the Form 2, I passed with all the grades A throughout.
Wow.
In Form 2, and then went to Form 3 and Form 4. And by the grace of God, I passed, but not so well in Form 4 at that particular time. So I decided to go back home and repeat in a different school. But the question was where? Because then my brother and sister are also going to Form 1. And then my father says, now I'm done with you.
Yes, I can't invest
in you. I have to go with your brother and sister because they're also going. Luckily enough, my brother, third born, got selected to Mzimba Secondary School. Wow. So it seems him is much more important than me now because I've done at least Form 4. Yeah. This was the changing point and the tipping point of my life. I decided to start growing crops. So I grew millet and I grew groundnuts in that particular year. 1 acre of each. And then sold 25,000 kwacha.
Wow. And at that time, it was a
significant amount of money. And I told my father, I'm going to Blantyre.
Remember, so you're leaving home. You haven't traveled before.
This is my first time. I haven't even seen Lilongwe. I haven't seen anywhere. This is my first time traveling to Blantyre. In Blantyre, there was my aunt, but at that particular time, she already had passed on. So there was just a husband who was there. But I didn't have, remember, this is the time when there were no phones, no communication, no what. So I didn't have any communication. But I only said, whatever goes, I will find it there. And I remember telling my dad, I will know what to do there. So I took my 20,000 kwacha, 5,000 I left it home for my parents and traveled. And I remember paying 1 kwacha 50 tamba to Blantyre on a coach to the bus there to Blantyre. So I traveled and reached Blantyre. That time where depots were clean and smart. I reached in a depot and I had nowhere to go. So I was sleeping in the bus depot for 3 good days. And then luckily we found my friend there, John from Mulanje. Also came from Mulanje to look for jobs and everywhere in Blantyre, and we were sleeping together, finding opportunities. And then in the third day, we decided to walk from a bus depot in Blantyre to Limbi. And in between there was sheer bus depot. And we found so many young people looking for interviews.
That should be around Chichiri area?
Around Chichiri area, yes. So they were trying to do interviews for a bus conductor. And we are just looking for opportunities. We don't have any invitation letter. But I think when you trust in God, things happen. This was the transformation that started. So we went into the HR office and said, we would want to take part in the interviews. And he said, where are your invitation letter? We said, we don't have. And we explained our audios, how we have traveled. Me from Zimbabwe, my friend is from Mulanje. And luckily enough, this gentleman was from Mulanje. So he wrote offer letters right there and gave us offer letters to go and attend the interviews. And imagine how redeeming was that. And we went for interviews. By the grace of God, I was number 1.
Wow.
When those interviews,
just walked in, you hijacked the interview.
So they were looking for 100 people. And I was number 1, my friend was number 7. And the number 1 to 10 were given not to be bus conductors, but be cashiers. So we were lucky to attend interviews for bus conductors, but we were given opportunities to be cashiers. And then we were given rooms within there were hostels there. We were given hostels. Now we have a place to stay. We were moving with our own bags. We now have a place to stay. And they were given 20 kwachas allowances of that particular day. Remember, I come from home with 20 kwacha. I'm given 20 kwacha a day as an allowance. So that already changed. And that training was for 1 month. So we attended the training for 1 month, and I created a little bit of money and started sending money home to help my parents in just training period. At the end of that, we were given 1 month to travel with the conductors as a bus conductor drivers to understand the principles and all those things. And then I was transferred to Katsonga to work as a cashier. So I worked with the organization for a year. That was in 1999. Okay, for a year. And then enrolled at Polytechnic